Howdy y'all, Kevin here. Had a couple of questions about the rats tourniquet. So, without further ado, I'm going to open this up. And we're going to actually, this thing's all tangled up because they packed it for shipping. It's definitely not ready to deploy. This is an actual rat's tourniquet. And if you get one that's not pre-deployed like this, what happens is a lot of these, when you buy off-brands, is they come with this tail just hanging loose off the end of the cleat here, and they have you run it back through this hole in the other side of the cleat, all right, at the bottom. Let's see what you got here. This is the bitter end of the tourniquet. This is just a hole through the cleat device. All right. And a lot of times you'll get it's not run through there. But what the proper way to use a rat is, you've got this loop that's about 3 fingers, all right, between both sides of your cleat. All right. And that is actually where your working end of the rats is going to go through. All right. So you're going to deploy this thing on a limb. Then the tail goes through that loop. It doesn't come back through that hole like a lot of folks who manufacture these who don't know the proper application. It still works. It's just they tell you to put it on wrong. So that's going to go through that loop just like that. So here's the cleat. There's that loop between those 2 holes on the cleat. Then you're just going to crank this thing down. And then you're going to wrap. And this is where you get that 2 to 3 inches of compression. And then once you get to the end, don't do that. And once you get to the end, you're just going to go back into that cleat and lock it. That's how a rat's tourniquet is supposed to be applied. That's how a rat's tourniquet works. And I'm going to take this off now because my fingers are already starting to tingle. If you want to do this at home and you got a pulse oximeter, you can put a pulse oximeter on your finger and see how quickly you can actually cut off the blood flow. A lot of folks who crank these things down, especially with cat tourniquets, they demonstrate by cranking them down a lot more than you need to. All you need to do is stop that pulse, stop that blood flow. So, we're not actually trying to compression amputate a limb. But you can see how much space that this saves in a pocket, or so on and so forth, if you're going to carry this thing all the time. Versus a cat's tourniquet. Rats is RATS, R-A-T-S, Rapid Application Tourniquet System. So, that's the quick and down and dirty on a rat's tourniquet. A lot of folks are against these. A lot of folks are for them. They're recommended by a couple of big organizations, so I'm not going to argue. Rat's tourniquet. That's how you really are supposed to do it. Thanks for reviews. Thanks for your support. And all that other stuff that Dave normally says. So, you want to support the channel, there's links in the description box. And that's really about it. Talk to y'all later. Bye.